Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over oil and natural gas, do some technical analysis, and we're going to jump right into the charts. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. So here we go. Let's take a look. So I'm starting with West Texas Intermediate Crude. The chart looks good. We're ready to go. Let's break through this area. When I say it gets sticky, it means that we're hitting resistance to the move higher. But to me, this looks really good. It ended pretty strong today. I think it's got a good chance of breaking $76 next week and continuing higher. Now, natural gas looks like we're running into some resistance here, and we could potentially pull back on the short term. We've got a wick at the top here. A nice big sell-off day. The buyer stepped in, and then the seller stepped in again, and basically put a bearish piercing pattern on the candlestick here. So I think we're probably going to head lower a little bit, but again, natural gas is incredibly volatile. This thing's getting thrown all over the place. I'm not selling anything. I'm just riding these things higher. And the charts look really good, and I'll show you what the charts look like. ETFs and individual companies. So here we go. This is XLE. This chart looks incredibly good. It looks like it wants to go higher. We broke this little, we'll call it downtrend, popped higher, pulled back, and now we're moving higher again. So that one looks really good. I would be buying it now. I wouldn't be waiting because it looks pretty good. And this one looks also very good. OIH, which is the Vectors Oil Services. We broke the downtrend line, and you guys know when you break a downtrend line, you buy the back test, which is right here, and then it usually takes off, and that's what we're doing. So we're taking off. And it's still good to get it in here. It's not a bad deal. Now, SM Energy, this is an individual company that this is my largest weighted company in oil. I am up a lot of money on it, a lot of percent gain. And it's literally consuming a lot of my portfolio now. But this one looks good. It looks like we're breaking the 52-week high and we're ready to go higher. It looks like it closed pretty strong. So we'll see what happens next week. Another one that I overweighted, and this one is also a larger weight in my portfolio now, is Centennial Resource Development, another oil and natural gas company. And it looks pretty good to try to tackle this high here at any point. CPE, another one that I own. I bought this $1. I bought this one down. I don't know. I think it was down here somewhere. And we've been moving on higher. I'm just going to hold on here. It looks good to continue up. Northern Oil and Gas is one that I bought here more recently on this, we'll call it this side here. And I think this has got a good, it's broken out. It's got a good leverage to the price of oil, and this is one that I'm holding on to. Now, recap, this guy, they're doing the 2D seismic, and I think they're going to release results probably in October, this month. I think there's other people like me suspecting that this is going to get released, and we're waiting for that release, and that's why we're basically in a dead period where the buyers equal the sellers. If whatever they release, it's probably going to be good. I mean, if we've got two wells, they've hit two wells that hit. I don't see why it wouldn't be a good seismic. And if it comes up good, I mean, this thing could run massively. So I'm just holding on here. The chart looks good. It looks poised to go somewhere. We'll see. We'll see where this thing goes. And our Comstock Resources, little bit of a tail wick at the top. We could see a little bit of a pullback here. Same with Sandridge. With these wicks at the top, I think we could maybe pull back a little bit. But again, these have been ultra strong. I'm not doing anything. I'm holding on. Holding my shares. Now, Crew Energy's been, they should change their name to the Boss, because they're killing it. Absolute domination. We've got this high here. It broke through that. Samurai sword through hot butter. little bit of a pullback, and now we're heading higher again. I mean, it's incredible, this move with Crew Energy. And I've been sitting in it the entire time, just holding on. Crescent Point's trying to break out right now. It's getting stuck at this resistance area in here. Once it breaks, I'm sure it'll follow oil quite closely, and we'll get a big move out of it. So that's one that I recently purchased as well. Here's another one I recently purchased, Helix Energy Solutions. I think I got it down here. It broke out, came back to do a back test, and now we're breaking out again. 8% up day to day. This one could have a pretty good move. HLX. Tetra Technologies, you break the downtrend, and then what you do is this thing I think is probably going to head higher at some point. It's meandering sideways right now on a sideways to up move is what I'm guessing. Transocean, same thing. It's another oil energy service company. These energy service companies are delayed a little bit behind the exploration companies. The exploration companies, they get more money when oil price goes up, and then the money will eventually feed into the service companies. So I look at the service companies as good value right now because the money hasn't been fed to those companies yet. Now, looking at solar, I threw some solar in here. Here's TAN. Big buying pressure days, bullish engulfing back here, which sets up a move. And sometimes this move goes all the way and comes back to the base here. Sometimes it doesn't. But I'm looking for a move higher out of it eventually. And yes, I did sell some of my TAN and put it into other energy companies. Beam is looking pretty good. We got this nice big hammer pattern here. It could continue. It could head higher at any point now. And SunPower had a nice good update today, about 10%. It popped higher. You could see it with this big update here in the 2 small down days. It usually means you're going to see some sort of move upward. And I'm still conflicted with the solar area. At heart, I'm a commodity guy. And solar is a consumer of commodities. So in an up move in commodities, I would think that solar is going to come under pressure because of the increased input costs. Solar may also trade like a tech company, and these guys are very highly valued in terms of PE ratios, and they don't make a ton of money. But, I mean, if money and trillions of dollars can get thrown at it, I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's got to go up, right? Maybe not. We'll see. But I'm a huge oil bull. I mean, massive. And maybe I'll do another clip on Kathy Wood, spouting, doing her talking. But I think of any of the sectors, oil looks incredibly good. It's probably the best looking sector that I can tell, even in the commodity space. There's some other good commodities too, but some of them are kind of resting, like copper's resting right now. Gold and silver have been pulling back. Uranium is resting, but I think in the near term it's going to turn at some point. And oil and natural gas have been the two that have been very strong. Natural gas looks like it could rest a little bit, but oil still looks like the momentum's behind it, and it could go higher. If you guys like this type of analysis, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.